With the 15th pick and with the 26th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Dwayne Haskins, Montez Sweat.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sistren. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Luke. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Rapid React quickly on the R3. Well, that was everything I expected, except we didn't score a touchdown, and I thought we were going to have a really big offensive day. So that didn't happen. I thought that we would look a little bit more prepared, a little bit more desperate, playing against a bad Giants football team. That didn't happen. I thought we would run the football a little bit more successfully, and I said, if you need to go away from it, don't be afraid to. And we didn't run it well, and we went away from it, and that didn't go well, so that didn't happen. I thought we would look better defensively, and for the most part, we did, but then we didn't, because if not for 4 giant turnovers, which, yes, we did create those, but if not for 4 giant turnovers, they probably scored 30 points on us again, one of which came literally at the 5-yard line. So didn't think we looked all that great defensively. Couldn't get to Daniel Jones. Allowed him to run on us on a 3rd and 17 for a first down. What's new? Anyway, and some giant penalties that called back some big plays, and it was a questionable day for the officials. But then again, when it's a Redskins game, what do you expect from the officiating in any event? So that didn't happen. And oh, by the way, it was fun to see Haskins get in, but wasn't quite looking forward to 3 interceptions. But I'll say this on Haskins, and then we'll move on. This is what I expect in terms of bumps and bruises. You're going to take your lumps with a young quarterback, which is why I want him in sooner rather than later. I know some of you are like, hey, man, you're going to destroy this kid, yada, yada, yada. The offensive line was not ideal today. Zach Kieran in at right guard is not ideal with Tony Bergstrom at center. Not an ideal group up front to be protecting your young franchise quarterback. However, he had time. He just didn't know where to go with the football. It was as simple as that. Guys weren't winning. No Terry McLaurin made a huge difference. But there were guys open. I saw Trey Quinn wide open. He just didn't know where to go with the football. It's as simple as that. And how's he going to get better at that? How's he going to be able to identify what defenses are trying to do to him and identify where to go with the football? By getting more reps. By actually playing, because he's not getting reps in practice. He's not going to see the field unless he's the starter. So he needs these reps. Guess what's going to happen next week? Case is going to be benched, but not in favor of Dwayne Haskins, but in favor of Colt McCoy, because Jay still thinks he can win. This is why you have to fire Jay Gruden. And he was awful today. All right. The first possession of the game after Case throws the interception. All right. First of all, the defense allows Daniel Jones to march it right down the field and Giants get into the damn end zone. Damn it. Get a stop. I understand it. Case threw another pick and that shit is backbreaking. I get it. And on the first play of the game, he missed another damn big play, potentially a touchdown with Trey Quinn streaking down the damn field. I get it. I know that stinks, and if you're Jay, that stinks. But at this point, you have to be able to rebound from that. This is not the first time Case Keenum has missed a guy running deep. As a matter of fact, he'd do it later in the game on an even more egregious miss on a play that was an obvious touchdown. The first one, Trey Quinn might have gotten caught at the 10-yard line. On that last one that he missed, that was definitely a touchdown. But in any event, how is it that your team is struggling? The worst, the absolute worst, since this statistic has been kept, the worst third down defense in the entire league. All right, in history, after 3 games of football. Yet you think it's okay to decline a penalty on 3rd and 7 in which your defense finally gets a stop, and you can decline it and force the Giants to kick a long field goal. Now, will they make it? Probably so. At this point, you'll take it as a win because your defense did something that they haven't really been able to do in the first 3 weeks. Get off the field on 3rd down. What does Jay do? Because he's the smartest guy in the room. First of all, Jay's a dumbass. He's got to go. All right? Jay's got to go. And Jay, for some inexplicable reason, decides he's going to accept the penalty. I'm telling my girl, oh no, he's declining that. They're going to kick the field goal because we finally got to stop on 3rd down. And when the official goes, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down, I'm like, no, you made a mistake. Jay said he wanted to decline. No, he didn't want the penalty. That's not the smart. And then I realized Jay's thinking that he's actually got a good defense. So Jay's actually thinking that he's going to push the Giants out of field goal range. This is a brilliant idea by Jay. In his mind, he's got to be the only dumbass in the whole entire stadium thinking that this is a good idea. No Redskin fan, no Redskin player, no Redskin coach other than Jay Gruden has to think that this is a good idea. Because they know on the next snap, the Giants go from 3rd and 17 to 4th and 2, which is going to give them an opportunity to mull over the decision. Do we go for it or do we kick the field goal? Well, guess what? If I'm the Giants, I'm 1 and 2. I got nothing to lose. You guys stink. All right? We're going for it. And what do? Convert. And you know what I said? I want them to not only convert this, I want them to score a touchdown. And I want Jay to understand that that was a dumbass decision. But that's nor here nor there. Bottom line is, he's not a good coach. He's got to go. And the only way Dwayne stays in the lineup is if Jay isn't here. If you keep Jay, Jay's going to start Colt McCoy next week. And again, I'm one of those guys that feels like once you open that bottle of soda, you can't put it back in the pantry. All right, it needs to go in the fridge, and you really need to drink it as soon as possible because it's going to get flat. So I'm one of those guys, you can't put toothpaste back into the container once you've squirted it out. You go ahead and use it. All right, you unwrap the Dwayne Haskins gift here. All right, you can't put the wrapping back on it. All right, let him play. He's in the game now. He's experienced his first taste of the NFL. He got his ass whooped today. Didn't know what the hell he was looking at. All right, behind the offensive line that wasn't ideal, with skill position players that weren't ideal. No Terry McLaurin. And you know what? It's crazy because I said that no Terry. And you know what? I'm not even going to go there because Trey Quinn won a bunch of times today. I don't want to make it seem as if no one was able to create separation because Trey Quinn won a bunch today. Dwayne just didn't know what the hell he was looking at. That's the part of the growing pains you get with a rookie, especially one that a lot of the coaching staff thought wasn't ready. And when you're not getting practice reps, when you're not getting looks at what a true NFL defense looks like, these are the kinds of things that are going to take place. That's why he needs to play sooner rather than later. Get him out there, allow him to see these defenses, understand what is happening to him, understand what concepts he needs to be reading, what side of the field he needs to be reading, where is his reads, where should they take him, all those types of things. These are the things that he'll be able to get better at as he plays. If you sit him back down on the bench in favor of Colt McCoy, who isn't a starter moving forward, and we already know Colt McCoy is a career backup. We know what he is. The future is now. We stink. We're 0-4. We're going to be 0-5 next week. There's no reason to save Dwayne Haskins for Miami in 2 weeks. For what? You've already put him in the game. He's gotten his first taste of NFL action. He can't play any worse than he did today. He threw 3 interceptions. All right, let him continue to grow. All right, build upon what he did today. It wasn't great, but he did some okay things. 3 interceptions, and I could argue that 2 of them weren't even his fault. You know, the Vernon Davis one, that's a timing issue. But Vernon's got to have a little bit more urgency getting out of that break. I mean, Vernon looked like the ball's definitely not coming to me. I mean, goddamn, can you move any faster than that? Or should I ask, can you move any slower than that? Because that's as slow as you can possibly get out of a break. But in any event, that's a timing issue. Dwayne let that thing go. Vernon had no idea what was coming. By the time he turned around, ball was hitting him on the shoulder pad. All right? This is why you need bigger receivers. I'm not a fan of throwing a 50-50 ball to Paul Richardson. I'm just not. And maybe Paul can go up and get that thing. But that was not a bad ball by Dwayne Haskins. I'm not going to kill him. I want you giving my receivers a chance to go up and get balls in one-on-one coverage just like that. And I want my receiver to find a way to come down with it. Paul Richardson is 5'11", 6 feet, $180 soaking wet. He's probably more closer to $175 soaking wet. I don't want my 175-pound receiver going up for a 50-50 ball. I'm good. Thanks, but no thanks. But that's what happened there on that play, and he got beat. Janoris Jenkins simply just took the rock from him. You don't know what to do with that. Give me that. And the first interception was a bad interception. And something Dwayne has to work on, and I don't know if he'll ever get better. He loves to throw off his back foot, drifting away. The interception was a prime example of that, kind of fading away in the pocket when he didn't need to. The interception, or it might have been the Chris Thompson throw is the one I'm thinking about, where it was almost picked off, should have been picked off. on the wheel route up the sideline, a ball that's up the field gives Chris a chance to run under it. That might be a touchdown. All right. But he drifted off his back foot, fading away. That ball didn't have enough on it. And that's something I would love to see Dwayne clean up. It was a problem at Ohio State for me. It's a problem now. I saw it in the preseason. You can get away with that sometimes, but I would like you to step into those throws instead of fading back. And in any event, I just want to see him continue to grow and continue to play. But I don't know if that's going to happen if Jay Gruden remains the head coach. I feel like I really don't like when Daniel Snyder injects himself into football matters, but this is one of those times I think he needs to say, all right, Jay's had enough. We've had enough of Jay. Jay's had enough of coaching here. Get rid of Jay. Get rid of Greg Minuski. Promote from within. Kevin O'Connell, you're our new head coach. Bill Callahan, whoever. I'm not Bill Callahan. I mean, I would prefer to see our defensive line coach become our new defensive coordinator, but I don't know if he wants that job. I've heard that he doesn't want the job. All right. If he doesn't want the job, there are two other guys that would love to have the job. I don't really care about which one you give it to. I would prefer Ray Horton over Rob Ryan, as a matter of fact, so I take that back. I would prefer Ray Horton. I know what Rob Ryan is as a defensive coordinator. But in any event, bottom line is, I think you start anew. Like right now, you're 0-4, and you hit the reset button on everything. Start 0-0 with Haskins at quarterback, with a new head coach, with a new defensive coordinator. You hit the reset button, and you just tell your players, we're starting the season over. All right, the first quarter of the season is done. We're 0-4 there, but we've got 3 quarters of football left. Let's go win these 3 quarters. Let's see what we can do. And just wipe that from the memory bank. We're starting over with Dwayne, and we're moving forward with him. Let's see if we can't go win some football games. And that's how I would approach things. That's not going to happen. Jay's not going to get fired. I'll be shocked if Minuski gets fired. I think we're going to have the same cast of characters come next week. We're going to look just as bad, if not worse, against New England next week. And we're going to be asking the same questions, except there will be no Dwayne Haskins. I was into that second half. I don't know about you. Even though Dwayne wasn't sharp today and didn't know where to go with the football, I was into that because I know he's the future. I'm invested in Dwayne Haskins and his success and development. So I was looking forward to seeing Dwayne every time he got on the field. But you take him out, you put Colt in, I could give 2 shits about what happens. Win or loss, I could really care at this point. Because the competitive portion, as I mentioned last week, you lose to the Bears, the competitive portion of the season is done. So I could care less about wins and losses at this point, even though I want to win. You know how I am. But at this point, I'm more about development than anything else. You stunt his growth if you put him back on the bench. You've already exposed him to the NFL at this point. He's made some mistakes. He needs to grow from them. He needs to be able to look at the film, see what went wrong, understand where he needs to go with the football, understand that he's got to make quicker decisions. Either you're going to throw it or you're going to run. You got to do something. Can't stand back there and take sacks. This is not Ohio State. All right? You're not playing against Northwestern. All right? All right? You're not playing against Maryland. You're playing against NFL defenses. You don't have 7 seconds to throw the football, which for some reason he thought he had today. So all of that stuff will speed up as he gets more reps. How do you get more reps? By allowing him to stay in the game. That's something I worry about because I don't think Jay's going anywhere. I don't think Minuski's going anywhere, and I don't think anything's going to change. And if Jay is our head coach going into next week's game, guess who will be starting at quarterback? Not Dwayne Haskins, not Case Keenum, but rather Colt McCoy. Watch what I tell you. So if you want to see Dwayne Haskins in the game, if you're Daniel Snyder, I think you got to step in here and make an executive decision and say, Jay's out, Minuski's out, we're starting this thing anew, and Kevin O'Connell, you're our new head coach, and we're going to move on from there. That's how I would approach this. And, oh, by the way, Kevin, get Dwayne ready to play because he's starting the remainder of the season. So figure it out. So that's how I would approach this. There's no turning back for me. I'm one of those guys, when you're talking about young quarterbacks, I'm not with the yo-yoing. I don't want my guy in and out. I don't want my guy not knowing if he's going to play this week or not. I want my guy in there. I want him preparing every single week to start. I want him to know what's going on. I want him to know the game plan in and out. I want this guy to get the timing and the reps with his receivers so you don't have those Vernon Davis type plays where the ball comes out sooner than the receiver is expecting it. I don't want him deer in headlights in the pocket, guys wide open, but he didn't know where to go with the football because he's not getting the reps. I want this guy getting every single rep imaginable. I want a lot of attention being given to him throughout the course of the week to prepare him to play every single game from here on out. And I want to tailor my game plan to his strengths. Figure out what he likes, what he does best, and these are the things that are going to be put into the game plan each and every single week to try to make him more comfortable, to get him better, playing at a much higher level at the NFL level. So that's the approach I would take. But again, they never take the smart approach. I think we're going to remain resilient with Jay, with Minuski, continue to lose football games, continue to not really benefit from losing football games poorly like we did against the Giants. Aren't a good football team. They're horrible. They turned it over 4 times today. And there was a Redskin commenter. There was a viewer last week when I said that by far and away, Quentin Dunbar is our best corner. And he said, how can you say that? Quentin Dunbar isn't our best corner. I said, oh yeah? Okay. And who was our best corner today? When he's healthy? And someone else said, well, he's never healthy. So that may be the case. But I'm just telling you, when the man's on the field and he's healthy, we don't have a better corner than Quentin Dunbar. Case in point, today. All right, rest my case. I don't need to speak on that anymore. All right, Quentin Dunbar is the best, and all of our rookies struggled today. Not a single rookie had a good day today. All right, Montez Sweat did some good things in the run game, but I'm tired of talking about Montez Sweat doing good things in the run game. We didn't draft him to stop the run. We drafted him to get. You know who did get after the quarterback, though? Noah Spence got after the quarterback in his limited reps. His first play on the field, he almost got to Daniel Jones. And would have gotten there if the damn coverage didn't give up an open receiver right off the bat. I mean, Noah Spence looked good. All right, I was encouraged by him. But Cole Holcomb was awful today. This was worst game by far and away. He was lost in the sauce all day long. Jimmy Moreland got beat on a slant, got smoked by a garbage receiver in Cody Latimer. And luckily for him, that got caught back. He got smoked on a simple slant, did Jimmy Moreland. Also got caught for a holding penalty on special teams. It was a rough day for all the rookies. All of them, every single. I don't know what happened to Wes Martin. He started the game, and then I didn't see him no more. Must have gotten hurt. That's my guess. I'm not sure about that, but I can tell you this much. I saw a lot of Zach Kieran today. So I'm assuming that Wes Martin got hurt at some point early in the ball game. So it was a rough day for all of the youngins. And, of course, no Terry McLaurin, which really stunted the growth of this offense. At no point did I have confidence in this offense's ability. And remember, I gave you my score for this game when I thought McLaurin was going to play. I told you guys to keep an eye on him because he was on the injury report with a hamstring. Hamstrings are really tricky. I'm glad he didn't play, though, because had he tried to play today, he probably would have re-aggravated it, made it worse, and next thing you know, we wouldn't have seen him for a month and some change. So, I don't know if he's going to play next week. You know, these hamstrings are really delicate, especially with guys with speed. You got to be cautious with these hamstrings. So we'll see what happens with him. But, man, this was tough to watch offensively. Shades of the days of John Beck and company when you knew you weren't going to do a damn thing offensively. And unlike those teams that could actually play a little bit of defense, this team isn't capable of playing defense. And so it's going to be a long season. If Haskins isn't starting, it's going to be a long season, folks. And Colt McCoy may come in and may give the offense a shot in the arm because he knows the offense a little bit better. Who gives a shit? Who cares if next week we get into a shootout with New England? Who cares? Do you care about a 33 to 27 loss at home versus New England next week? Because I don't. I'd much rather see the development of Dwayne Haskins. I don't know about you. Leave it in the comment section. What was the most disappointing thing about today's game? What do you think the Redskins should do moving forward? We got a lot to discuss. We'll find out a lot of things over the next 24 hours. We'll hear Jay Gruden speak, so we'll have a lot to chew on, whether he's here or not. We'll know a lot more. If he's not fired by tonight, most likely, or tomorrow morning, he's going to be here. So we'll have a lot to chew on either way, whether he's here or not. Jay will make a decision on who will be his starter. Most likely, it'll be Colt McCoy if he's here. So we'll have so much to chew on for the Redskins Nightly News tomorrow. But this wasn't. I wasn't really moved by this game, to be honest with you. The only thing that was of any importance was Dwayne Haskins playing. And Jay gave up on him in the early stages of the fourth quarter. Once Dwayne threw, I think it was his second pick, Jay gave up on him. There was one possession. He ran Adrian Peterson out of the gun 3 times and punted the football. I want Jay gone. I want Jay Gruden gone. He is not the guy for this team anymore. He probably wasn't after last year, and I wanted him gone last year. I wanted to give him a chance because Jay's a likable guy. I've said that before, but Jay's not a great head coach. He's not even a good head coach. He's a below average NFL head coach, and guys were running open. One thing Jay can do, I hate his run scheme. Jay's run scheme is trash. But one thing Jay can do is get guys open. He can scheme guys open. He did it again today. Trey Quinn running wide open twice for touchdowns in the Giants secondary, and Case Keenum simply couldn't get him the football. And that's all on Case Keenum. All other 10 guys did their job on the field, and the one guy that didn't was the most important in Case Keenum. And so Jay's done his job. He's gotten guys open consistently throughout his career as Redskins head coach. Unfortunately, hasn't had the most consistent quarterbacking, and his defenses haven't done a good enough job. But he hasn't done a good enough job as a head coach either. He needs to go, and we need to start this thing anew. What do you think should happen? What should the Redskins do? What was the most disappointing thing about today's game? What are you looking forward to? I want to hear all of that in the comment section and then some. I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold. Until we meet again, hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. It was another ugly performance by the Redskins, but this one had a little bit of context to it. And I thought we were going to lose a game. Never thought we were going to win this football game, but I didn't expect to just score 3 points either. So there's that. In any event, I'm your man, Louis T, signing off. We'll have so much to talk about, so much to digest come tomorrow. Can't wait to find out what's going to happen. I'm in suspense now because if you're Daniel Snyder, this can't sit well with you. You know, and this team, they didn't quit, but it felt like Jay Gruden at one point quit on the team today. And he just doesn't have a good feel for his team. You got the worst third down defense by a mile in the league, and you decide to accept a third down penalty, which would force a fourth down in a Giants field goal attempt. He's just not in tune to what's going on in front of him. He's got to go. And he's got to go not now, like right now. And in any event, we're out of here. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
Louis T Network.